Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a Death Knight build guide in Baldur's Gate 3. This is now in the in-game mod manager, and it's a recreation of the Nexus mod, and it's made by zxwolfrainxz. I also see that they say they have submitted to be put onto console as well, but this is a World of Warcraft Death Knight featuring 3 distinct subclasses, having the Blood Death Knight, Frost Death Knight, and the Unholy Death Knight. I'll be covering the Frost Death Knight here, which has a 10% independent critical hit chance against crits. Chilled targets, and whenever you apply chill to the target, you inflict frost fever for 2 turns, which reduces their overall movement speed. Now for our ability scores, strength's going to be an important one for us, but so is charisma, so having a nice amount of equal of these, so 16-16 can work well, and then you can put the rest of your points into something like your constitution. A decent bit of dexterity is nice as well. You can also put some dexterity points if you'd like, but this is what we're going to go with. Now, the creator did say they submitted it to be potentially on console, so we're going to have to wait and see if that will happen, as they're doing a lot of testing and improving all of these mods. But at level 2 here, we get ourselves the Frost Strike, which does a plus 2d8 of cold damage, basically being like a smite for cold. And on hit with a melee weapon, you deal an additional 2 to 16 cold damage, and your Frost Strike has a 35% chance to restore 1 Frost Rune, and it increases to 100% on a critical hit. So pretty strong. At level 2, we also get whatever type of damage we want. So great weapon fighting can actually work really well, because you can reroll damage die, and it'll give us more cold damage. I'm going to go with defense, though, because a +1 armor class actually works really nice for us early on. But go with whatever one of those you prefer. At level 3, we get ourselves immunity to all diseases. We get Death and Decay, corrupts the targeted ground, slowly down all targets in the area, and dealing 5% of the maximum health over 10 turns. And we get the Horn of Winter. So we can blow the Horn of Winter, increasing total strength and dexterity of all allies in 12 meters by 3, lasts for 10 turns. And we also get a Frost Rune and a Howling Blast weapon action here, which does 2d6 cold damage and blasts the target with a frigid wind, dealing 2 to 12 cold damage and nearby enemies, inflicting chill for 2 turns, and restores 20 runic powder on hit. So this uses a Frost Rune as well. There's a lot of different spells that we get through here that use our 2 different resources there. Now, we also have Raise Dead, which is nice, giving us a ghoul to fight alongside us. But we also get Death Pact, which we can take it out and get ourselves 50% healing, which is awesome. But that does use a Frost Rune, or a Blood Rune there. We also get the Chains of Ice, which shackles the target with frozen chains, reducing movement by 100% and inflicting with Chilled for 2 turns. Again, Chilled being very useful here. So, our ability score improvement. You can take up your strength. I am using a strength potion, so I will take up charisma here. It's good, especially if you're the face of the party, to go with a little higher charisma. At level 5, we get ourselves an extra attack, and we also get a Frost Rune and the Obliterate weapon action, plus 2 slashing damage, and perform a melee weapon with your main hand and offhand weapons, dealing 50% damage to each target and an additional 2 to 20 cold damage. And Unmissed does not spend Frost Runes. Damage increases to 100% when you're not dual wielding, so you can do 1 main-handed weapon. I'm using the weapon that came alongside this, but there is a 2 longsword version of this build that works as well, so you get to pick what you prefer. At this level, we get the Anti-Magic Shell, which uses the Unholy Rune. Surrounds the Death Knight in an Anti-Magic Shell, absorbing 50% of magical damage dealt by harmful spells. And we have ourselves the Mind Freeze, so smash the target's mind with cold, preventing any spell from being cast for 6 turns and inflict chilled for 2 turns. And then the Blood Rune immediately converts 25% health into 50 runic power. So if we need to cast more runic spells, you can quickly burn away your health for that. At level 7, we also get a runic powder 20. Your weapon is now infused with runic power, enabling to evoke the might of a Death Knight. So cool. And at level 8, we get another big benefit here with the empowered runic weapon Frost, which deals an additional 1 to 8 cold damage whenever we have a runic powder, and a chance to restore runic powder is increased to 30%. I like to take the alert feat here for +5 to initiative and can't be surprised. Super useful to take that feat. And then at level 9, we get ourselves the Raise Ally, so pours energy into a dead target, reigniting the spirit and body to allow the target to re-enter battle with 50% of its max health. The Death Advance. Embrace the power of the Shadowlands and teleport to the target location. Basically just Misty Step. Pretty nice to get that level 2 spell here. At level 10, we get ourselves another Runes. And we also get the Killing Machine. Your weapon attack has a 15% chance to make your next Obliterate a critical strike and refund 1 Frost Rune or your next Howling Blast free. As for the feat, we can take up Strength there, or Dexterity, really. I am using a Strength potion, so I guess I'll put up Dexterity just for a little bit extra initiative there. And then level 11 here, we get ourselves 1 Frost Rune, furthering our ability to deal damage. And at level 12, we get 30 more runic powder, and we get the Breath of Sindragosa. So this gives a 48 of cold damage, inflicts chilled, in a cone. You can recast the spell again until your runic powder's exhausted. Generates 2 frost runes after each casting, and this takes 50 runic powder. So we also get ourselves another feat here. Again, take your strength up if you don't have strength potions. But what this typically looks like in combat. So we got ourselves a frost strike there, which can deal a ton of extra damage. I'm using the Frostmourne, the unholy blade weapon here, which has necrotic and cold damage. There are a few different weapons that come with this. So if you want to do dual wielding, you can go with the Frostmourne. There's different versions of it. So it's pretty fun. It's a very powerful weapon though, so just be mindful that you do get like a few spells here, like our Chaos Bolt that does a little bit extra damage. Now with this class, basically what we want to be doing is we want to get in, deal damage. I'm also using the Helldust Gloves, and for armor, really your personal preference. Armor persistence works pretty well here, so you could go with that if you want something that's going to be guaranteed to be pretty good defensively, because it's going to give us a bunch of extra damage negation. And it also will be pretty nice for reducing the amount of spell damage that we take. In addition, Mask of Soul Procession plus 2 attack rolls and initiative, Cloak Protection, Evasive Shoes, and the Ring of Protection all for plus 1 armor class each, giving us 24 armor class. You can use a shield if you want with the sword, but I think that this works well this way. So yeah, we also, with this sword, we get ourselves Chaos Bolt, and you can see here, this is pretty fun. You get to knock people around. So I'll just drop that down there. See, you can knock people flying with that, and it deals a bunch of damage, so that's a fun one. And you can cast that pretty much infinitely. And then you also have the Apocalyptic Roar, which I'm not going to do right now because it'll aggro everyone in this area. But for most of our attacks, we want to be using, you see the Unholy Flame there. We got our Chains of Ice, which can shackle them down. We have 150 runic powder, and then we have 6 frost runes and 2 of the other runes for different attacks. So we can go ahead with our Frost Strike here. I guess I'll show this off against Halston here. It hits hard. It's like basically a Frost, 16, 8, 14. Yeah, dealt a lot of damage. And even our basic attacks deal a lot of extra damage to get that additional Frost attack on them. So yeah, we're cutting foes down real quick. But basically what we want to be doing whenever we get into an actual combat encounter, I'll show what this looks like in terms of actual fighting. Our main spells being we got our Chains of Ice there, which uses a Frost Rune. We have the Horn of the Winter, which increases our strength for 10 turns, which is nice. The Howling Blast, too, dealing frost damage at a target area. We got a Raise Dead if we want to have an additional target there. Those can Speak with the Dead and Control Undead, so those are nice spells. Death Coil, using our Runic Powder. We want to be using our other types of runes, so our Unholy and our Blood runes whenever possible. Like, we can summon in an undead and then consume the undead to get ourselves a little bit extra health. But I won't use any of the overpowered attacks here, like the Apocalyptic Roar, because these are very powerful. But what we're going to want to do in combat, I guess we'll just jump up there. We can use our Chains of Ice to hold someone in place there, and this also applies Chilled for 2 turns, which will give us more damage with our Frost attacks, which is really nice. So this is a good way to start off combat if you can't attack anyone. We got the Chains of Ice holding them in spot. And we also have our Unholy Smite too. I can't use that, but I guess I could have used the Death Advance there to Misty Step up there, but we'll just save that for next turn. And then we can also turn health into Runic Powder if we want to, but yeah, this is a very powerful class. We'll just let them come out and attack us. Again, cold damage being our best friend. Also, I didn't mention it, but the Snowburst Ring is a good weapon here because it will make an ice surface around the target whenever you attack them, so they can slip on the ice whenever you attack, which is really nice because you can just literally stop people from moving. So this is pretty strong, but I don't think this is like super overpowered, which is nice. So you can see there they're taking frost damage because they're stuck in there. But we're going to want to use like our Frost Strike if at all possible, because it's going to deal a ton of damage, probably one-shot him. If we get a critically up, yeah, that hit hard. So yeah, it hits extremely hard. We want to run around with our Frost Strike as much as possible. This uses only 30 of our Runic Powder. Yeah, we're hitting for huge numbers there. You can see it was crazy. And then we also have our Howling Blast, which can deal some frost damage there as well. And we'll just drop that down on them. And took them out as well. Jeez. And then we could also use our Misty Step. I'll use this to jump back a little bit so that they have to come towards me to fight. That might be risky. They may try and shove. And we'll let her, she's going to cast Darkness on us, and we're going to teleport and attack her. So yeah, this class again, I wouldn't say it's broken overpowered, but it's powerful. So then we can just, I won't be able to make it there, so I can just Misty Step my way to right beside her, and then go ahead with our, again, Frost Strike being your best strongest attack, but we also have Obliterate, which is a really powerful weapon there, as you can see. So we can use that to hit hard as well. Boom, that hit, and then we can also use like Death Coil, or we can hit them with a Frost Strike, depending on if you have runes left or if you have Runic Powder. So we're able to get some Runic Powder back on our attacks, which is nice. But yeah, this is very powerful. I guess I'll get into another combat encounters to show this off, because it's very, very strong. So we'll just raise an ally here, so you can raise the undead. Must be oh, this is for playable targets. Yeah, we got ourselves the, where is it here? This is raise dead, so you can use this to raise some dead, and then with this we can also just consume them if we want to get our health back. So yeah, per short rest we get that, so you can always just do short rest here and then use another raise dead, and then you got a couple minions here. So oh, it only lets us use one at a time. So if you need to do that, you can short rest, heal yourself with the ghoul, and then start your next combat encounter. And then you can also use the death pack to be able to take the health from them. We also have blood runes that converting health into runic powder. So the blood knight is a bit more focused on dealing damage, obviously, and it does a great job at that. But typically, what we're going to be doing, let's start off our combat there. Boom, and we'll just get. Oh, they took our coin. That's fine. We'll just follow up with another one. So yeah, we'll attack. We'll start a little bit of fight here. We took them out with it. I'll try not to use anyone else in this fight just because I want to show off what this can do. But the Obliterate being a very powerful attack. Boom! Yeah, that took them out real quick. And then we can also Howl of the Winter, which is nice, giving us a boost to our attacks, or a boost to our overall damage. We also got bonus action, Apocalyptic Roar. So if we're able to get in there, and where's the other fighters right there? So we can even use Death Grip, harness the darkness around it, hold them and stun them. So whenever we stun the target, they don't get a turn next turn. So that's nice. We can just run over to them and we'll just let everyone else skip their turns. They're stunned, so they can't do anything. And then we get to go again and then run in and use Obliterate, or really whatever attack you got. The Runic attack, the Frost Strike there being a really good one. Yeah, that was too easy. You deal a lot of damage with this, but it doesn't feel like it's overly broken, so that's a nice thing. I guess I'll start off by using this here to deal a bunch of psychic damage. It didn't do anything because it wasn't in combat, unfortunately. We also have the Chaos Bolt, which can knock people right off the edge there, so woo, hurt myself too in the process, but that's fine. That's fine, they're trying to attack, but here we go. We're getting back into the fray of things, so I guess we can start off with another Frost Strike or a Obliterate, really just whatever you have opted for. Obliterate being a bit stronger, as you can see, and then the Frost Strike being a good amount of cold damage too. Oh, we're just cutting them down. This is almost unfair. And then we use this to deal a bunch of extra damage. Boom. That killed a bunch of them. Jeez. Yeah, this fight's not gonna last long. Especially if you use the weapon, this becomes very overpowered. So you can see this is normally an encounter that takes a bit of time. They're gonna volley us a few times. I'm just gonna run up there and blast them again. Bonus actions on that being very strong. And then they're gonna come forward, probably volley as well. There's also, oh, command. Not gonna let that happen. Oh, they commanded him. Crap. Alright, upcast a command too. And, oh, we got hit with the command as well. Sonic Backlash, boom. So we'll just wait for our turn. They're gonna volley, that's fine. We can survive that. This is a very offensive class. Okay, we can't use that. They're gonna go. Please don't hit command again. For frig's sakes. They're upcasting. I have this on Tactician, so they're being annoying with their command. Command being a very powerful spell. Not gonna let them ensnare it. Please don't hit us with another command, please. Critical miss, good, good, good. I'm gonna use Frost Strike again and the Obliterate, so we'll get to go. For frig's sakes, we got another command, but yeah, maybe we'll get a turn here. I'll just pause this. Alright, so we got our turn back here, and you know what I'm gonna do? We don't have Frost Runes left. It says we have 4 there, but we don't really have any. I guess I'll just hit him with one of these. Boom. Alright, we aren't getting commanded again. And we can hit with another one of these. Not enough movement, unfortunately, so we got our Glacial Onslaught. So we can use that to just hit. Hopefully hit them. Yeah, boom. Nice. And into combat. Alright, we got mine broken there. That sucks. But yeah, that's the Death Knight. Very fun subclass in Baldur's Gate 3. And now in the in-game mod manager. So go check that out by zxwolfrainxz. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button below, and I'll see y'all in the next video.